Welcome back. This is Power Breakfast. Thank you so much for staying with us. Before we get into our man cave session this morning, we're going to talk a little bit about cold weather remedies. A lot of people right now walking around suffering from colds and flus due to the weather, etc. So I am joined in studio by a nutritionist, Eunice Kamau, who is going to tell us a little bit more about how we can stay healthy throughout this cold season. Welcome to Power Breakfast.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Perhaps as we were saying just now, we can begin with a little bit of background about flus and colds and about how they are viral infections and not necessarily something that you need to go to the chemist and get an antibiotic for, correct? Perhaps you can explain that to us.
Yeah, cold and flus are caused by different kind of virus, and viruses don't have cure really, but they tend to affect the immunity very fast, and that is why eventually people have to take an antibiotic. But there are many other ways one can do. It's only that cold affects the upper respiratory, so there is coughing, there is sneezing, you are not even able to breathe well, and it's very uncomfortable to some people, and that's why people use all manner of efforts just to try to cut it. But naturally, viruses tend to take their course. So it takes about a week to 20 days, depending with the severity of the infection, especially when the weather is starting up, like now cold season. Right now, the flu and cold that is there is very, very strong, such that people can take a bit of time, a month, with the sore throat and all kind of pains. And therefore, people tend to do all kind of things. But what I would like to say is that prevention is always better than cure.
Absolutely.
Before even waiting for the season to start so that you can do all these things you have asked me to bring to studio, I would like to say that our immunity is able to fight back. But our immunity cannot fight when we don't feed it with the right nutrients. And therefore, you don't wait until that you are unwell, then you start looking for cures. You need to do that before. First of all, by having a lot of vitamin C, which is available in fruits and vegetables. Things like vitamin A. Vitamin A keeps the mucous membrane soft and able to function and to protect itself from the viruses. And then, of course, the B vitamins for energy. And all of that we find in natural foods that we eat every day. And then, of course, reducing the amount of drinks, sugary drinks that we take every day, sugar itself, and all these other additives. And then now, when there is now the season is on, and maybe you have flu or cold, so to speak, I have brought some few things that one can do at home. These are just mere home remedies.
And just before you get to that, I just want to remind everyone watching that if you do have any questions for Eunice, you can go ahead and SMS those on 22422. We're talking holistic, natural home remedies and also prevention to avoid cold and flu during this cold season. So if you've got questions, I'll be checking out the SMSs and you can begin there. Perhaps before we even talk about the different foods that you brought here, you talked about prevention. How important is it, and just in terms of staying warm, staying rested? Those are also things that contribute to you know, the cure, should we say, as you're battling these colds.
That is true, and we also need to look at the vulnerable groups, like the kids under 5s, because the immunity is a bit not well developed, and elderly people. You know, even globally, when it's cold weather, elderly people suffer a lot because also as we age, the immunity is also affected. And again, as you have said, there are measures that we don't take into account. When are you vulnerable? Like people when you are stressed or you are not sleeping well. And there are other factors other than merely not finding the right nutrients. And we need to put them together so that we prevent. And sometimes people, especially Kenyans, because we are workaholics, if you feel like you are coming down with the flu and somebody tells you take a day off and sleep, you think you are wasting your time now, you know, I need to get to work.
Right, and we do have a lot of that going around in offices.
Yes, and you go when that virus is very, very, very strong, when it's very virulent and you spread it aloud. And you can find like when you are overworked, just take a day off and rest, and then the body will recuperate. So there are other factors, just merely not eating well, that are involved, like what we have just said: stress, overworking, not sleeping well at night. When you watch movies until 2, and then you go to bed at 2:30, and then you wake up around 6, you did not sleep well, your body, the body natural ability to fight for itself is diminished, because much of the repairs and internal housekeeping of your body takes time, during the night. So if you don't rest well, it means when you wake up in the morning, you are fatigued and you are vulnerable to catching any kind of infection. So that is also very important.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, so let's get to some of what you brought for us here. Maybe we can begin with the prevention of it all, because you said we do need to increase our intake of vitamin C, vitamin A,
and also dropping sugary drinks.
Okay.
Sugary drinks always irritate the membrane around the throat. And that one in itself helps the virus to have somewhere to anchor and start an infection. And of course, it also increases inflammation. And inflammation is a very good avenue for any microorganism or the microbes to attach on.
So and drop the sugar.
Drop sugar. Yeah, it is good to have everything in moderation.
Yeah.
But the amount of sugar we consume every day is not helpful, especially in cold season, because sugar also tends to lower the immunity in itself because of too acidity.
Yeah. And
of course, it doesn't have nutrients. You also need to consider that when you take too much sugar, you reduce your intake of healthful eating, because sugar tends to cut appetite. Like now, if you are hungry, go and get a sugary drink, you are most not likely to skip that a good meal because you feel already full.
Yeah.
And therefore, that in itself also denies you the proper nutrients the body need. But I'm not talking really about sugars that we find from different fruits and vegetables. I'm talking for this sugar that we take coffee, we put everything, you put 3-4 teaspoons, you take 5 cups of tea every day.
Yeah.
Can realize at the end of the day, you have really taken a lot of tea.
Yeah.
And a lot of sugar at the end of the day. Yes.
So what do we have here in front of us? What did you bring for us today?
It's just simple things that one can do, like lemon. Lemon is very, very good. This is a very good source of vitamin C, and it also contains antioxidants. Antioxidants are a group of nutrients that are not really classified as vitamin A, vitamin B or C, the way we classify them, but they work very, very well in terms of preventing cellular damage. And at the end of the day, you'll find that when you are facing an infection, your ascaris or the body's natural defense mechanism is facing an invasion. And that invasion will require something to equip it properly. Antioxidants are very good, and it also has a lot of vitamin C. And this is a very, very, very herbal. It's a very herbal fruit, so to speak, and not well liked by people.
So how do we take lemon?
This one you just cut, and you can put in water together with the lid. Don't unpeel it. With the peels you can put. And when you take that one, especially if you have a sore throat, you keep on zipping slowly by slowly, it softens and actually relieves that kind of itching. And you find even most of the lozenges that people take when you have cold, they always have this. You'll see lemon veva, they will have vitamin C, because that is what is very critical as far as healing is concerned. And there is this also, lime is also another form of lemon.
Again, you use that with the peels?
Yeah, it's the same as that. And again, I see in the modern world, especially in Nairobi, there is this common use of dawa. When you go to all the Italies, you find
the honey, lemon,
the honey,
ginger.
Lemon. This is ginger. They mix with lemon and honey and sometimes garlic. But I would say that garlic, you just use a little bit of it. Sometimes, garlic can thin the blood when you take too much. So this one is enough. But you find when one is unwell,
you just
you just want to more does not mean you get well faster.
Yeah,
You just need just moderate, like 1.
Okay.
And of course, if you have one or two, they are okay. Then this is a Kenyan orange. I deliberately brought a Kenyan orange because I believe we have sufficient of what we need locally.
Yeah.
And this one is also very good source of vitamin C. And this is turmeric.
Okay.
Turmeric is very, very good. You can see it's very different from it's different from the ginger. And this one is also very, very good cause of the antioxidants.
Okay.
And I would also want to mention that the colors in fruits and vegetables are also nutrients that are not classified. So having different types of and variety from different sources is very, very helpful.
So the turmeric, is that something you would mix in with that?
Yeah, you can put you can make tea with lemon, because lemon will help absorption of turmeric better. Okay. You can put them together, but naturally mix one or two.
Okay.
Don't think that when you have brought 5 concoctions, your healing will be faster, because, as I said earlier, viruses tend to run their course.
Right.
What you need to do is just to diminish the discomfort and the pains that are involved.
Okay.
And then there are also herbal teas like chamomile. Chamomile will help you sleep at night, especially if you are not sleeping well. This is lemongrass tea. It's also good. And of course, we have like this one. This is vitamin A. Vitamin A from fish tends to sting, so people don't like to take they want to take this.
But what does it contain that is helpful to us?
This vitamin is very, very powerful. First of all, not only for the brain development for kids, it's also very good for cold. Okay. Because vitamin A helps keep softens the mucosal surfaces. And you know the nose, the throat, they have that surface area. It keeps it healthy. And when it's healthy, when a virus or any other germs try to anchor, it's quickly able to defend itself. So vitamin E is very critical. Okay. And we have like omega-3. Omega-3 is also very good, generally for immunity and for energy. And then vitamin C, these days they come in, they are capsulated nicely. You can have without having to, even if you don't have, like, let's say the fruits, you can even have a capsule. Like this one is 500 milligrams. It is very helpful. Even this one is another one.
That's so with that, as well.
So with that, you can be properly safeguarded. And this cold season, and again, as I was saying earlier on, don't focus only on cold season. The idea is to have a healthful body that is able specifically to protect itself, because we have internal, very, very powerful battalions of different kind of immune activities happening. All you need to do is to equip them. So this is something that you should do on a continued basis. It's not just when you feel like you're getting
now
sick. During cold season, at least it's good to add. And then, of course, what you said earlier on is to keep warm. That is very important. Avoid cold drinks. When you take iced drinks at a time like this, you cause inflammation of the throat. And then also I wanted to mention all these concoctions. They also, I would want to point out a few things. Like, if you put lemon ginger tea, it's not good to add honey if you are diabetic. Don't think because honey is natural sugar, and has not raise your sugar. It's going to affect your sugar.
In fact, I just got a question here on the SMS. Someone is asking, I don't take lemon because I have a problem with ulcers. What can I take in place of lemon? What would you recommend?
Now, naturally, lemon does not cause ulcer. Okay. Maybe there are many other factors, but lemon, when you take lemon or vitamin C, it is turned into an alkaline situation when it gets into the stomach. It is most of the fruits except tomatoes and plums. When you ingest them, they taste a bit acidic, but when you are digesting, they are not acidic at all.
So technically, it doesn't even affect?
It does not affect. Okay. There are other factors that are involved with somebody who has ulcers. They need to address them so that they don't miss out on good stuff. And they say now, when I take pineapples, I'll be sick,
Yeah.
I'll come down with this. They need to address that because it's not what is causing the ulcer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Some of the other remedies that people have been known to do at home is sort of like the steaming, like when you have a lot of congestion in your nose and
you
you're trying to clear
steam.
your airways. What's the best way to do that? I've heard maybe if you put some ginger in hot boiling water and put the towel over your head. Is that?
Yeah, there is
Does that work?
essential oils, but ginger may not be the very best because you need oils. Oils when you inhale, they decongest and kind of stimulate. And lemon peels would be good. Eucalyptus is also good.
Okay.
If we, like people who are in the village, you have blue gums all over. You get the tender shoots, not that old leaves, but tender shoots, and you can put them in water, but don't boil. Remove water from the fire and then you can cover so that you avoid having problems with scalding yourself in the process.
So some people use menthol and sort of will
yes, because of eucalyptus.
Okay.
Menthol is from eucalyptus tree. And those are also still remedies. And of course there is something like chicken soup. I would have also forgotten that when you are coming down with fever, the best thing to do is also to take a lot of soups. Soups are filling, they are nutritious, and they make you sweat. That sweat also helps the body to relieve itself of the virus. And it's very, very helpful. Like chicken soup, but I don't mean this soup that you get, these the chickens of 6 weeks. I'm talking about, if possible, kienyeji. That one you give you better soup. And when you boil it, add a bit of herbs, rosemary, what, those things.
The more natural, the better.
Yeah, obviously. The better. A bit of black pepper is very good. A bit of cayenne pepper. It is going to help you ward off the pain faster and the discomfort.
Right.
Yes.
Now, you've said that colds and flus tend to run their course. They can last from 7 days all the way up to, you've said, maybe 20 days. At which point is it safe to now consult a doctor? If you're feeling like your symptoms are not going away, you've tried all the remedies we've talked about here, and you're just feeling like it might be something more.
If you are coughing, the cough is dry, and it's not productive, meaning nothing is coming out. You are trying, you are taking water, there is nothing you are producing. It may mean that now the virus have dried the mucosa surfaces so much, and there is a risk of bacteria going down, and also now you go down with things like even bronchitis or pneumonia. So it's not good now when you've seen 3-4 days. It is not improving actually, because when you take these things, there is that tendency to produce a lot of mucus, and that helps to remove everything that is in it. But if there is fever, there is headache, unproductive cough, it's always good to consult a doctor. Yes.
When it comes to children, do the remedies you've talked about here still apply to, you talked about children under 5 and how susceptible they are to catching some of these infections. Is it the same for them, or what?
You can give them like a bit of it, because kids, the dose is a little lower. Like if you put quarter of a lemon, you squeeze it and add a bit of honey, a child will take, because they like sugary things. And of course, omitting sugary stuff for kids helps them a lot in also building their immunity and resisting infection. Because without that, they are vulnerable at this time. And then keeping also them warm. You find like kids like to walk out in the rain, and they get wet feet, the hands, then that is most likely to make them catch an infection. We have another SMS here. Robinson from Kileleshwa is saying, can those remedies be useful to an asthmatic person? Yeah, these ones are not allergic. They don't cause allergy. There are some plants when an asthmatic person takes, they're going to give them a bit of that reaction, but these ones are not reactive. Maybe the only thing is that there are some people when they take something like garlic, they get gassy. Garlic is a bit gassy, it gives you a bit of gas. But the others are okay, even for digestion. They're not going to hurt you or make you feel gassy afterwards, except the garlic.
You also talked about sort of when we're going through these symptoms and we're feeling terrible and we're feeling like the more we just throw in that cup, the faster we'll get better. Some people also will take remedies like this, mix them with over-the-counter, you know, medicine as well. Would you recommend that, you know, if I go, I get my Piritons, my Actifeds and all those things, that I'm still consuming these remedies?
This is like food, really.
Okay.
It's not going to affect in any way the medication you are taking. It's not contraindicated. However, as I said, more does not make you better. Because sometimes what happens even when you are taking med is just to relieve the discomfort. But otherwise, viruses are a group of microorganisms that don't have cure, including, it's actually that the flu phyla is able to follow its course and the body is able to resist it. But some viruses like HIV, we know they just stick around and they cause infection, and a lifetime one. So in the process, it's good to know that what you're doing is just to you know, and when you ask is when the defense mechanism is under attack, you bring help from outside. But again, at the end of the day, it's your immunity that is going to fight off the viral infection, not actually things that you're taking. But they require a lot of vitamin C, because as I said earlier on, there is massive cellular damage when you are facing a viral attack, especially flu or cold. Flu is much more worse than cold, because flu will give you joint pains, lethargic, fever, but cold is the one that normally is sneezing and having or blowing your nose, congestion. It hardly goes into the next level. Flu is a bit much more massive.
Something I've always wondered about when we talk about stuffy nose and all of that, the issue of whether to use handkerchiefs or not, because there are people who feel like if you're using a handkerchief, you're just reinfecting yourself with the same germs. Some people say if you use tissues, that also does not help with congestion. What are your opinions on that? I
think what would make a handkerchief reinfect you, if you, like, for example, you have been using one handkerchief the whole day. But if you are unwell and you clean them, you have 4 or 5 of them, they are ironed or they are hanged out, but right now there is no sun, they cannot reinfect you. But some tissues, there are these wipes that are good. But the others that have got very tiny particles that irritates the surface membrane, and you feel much more uncomfortable after using them. I believe it's all about hygiene. It's all about personal hygiene. If you have flu, have several handkerchiefs, clean them. And if you have problem with touching them, please soak them in salt. Salt will deactivate everything, and you not feel that slimy feeling when you are cleaning them. And then you can have several. It's not going to affect it cannot infect you, but you can't use one handkerchief for 4 hours. And it's wet, and you're also shaking people's hands. And it's good also when you're in an office setting, and there's somebody who has cold, or you'll find like maybe 30% have cold. It's good to wash hands. If you know you are coming down with flu, wash your hands. Don't shake people's hand, transfer the same to the and you find people like feel stigmatized when they don't want to shake your hand, but they can't tell you because the African in us tell us don't do that. But it's good we clean our hands,
because you're touching all sorts of things in the office, door handles and
the virus is active for a while. So if somebody you'll catch different. There are various colonies of those microorganisms. You get this one, another one, and then you can find sometimes people come with down with very serious flu than the others, depending with what actually they were exposed to.
So as you're saying, the most important thing is to build up your immune system before all of this even happens.
Your immune system is what actually is all we have, as is uniquely yours. And it is not like medication. It's able to distinguish between what is healthy and unhealthy. So at least that is what we should keep after at all times.
One last question on the SMS here. Someone asked, what are the different ways in which turmeric and ginger can be consumed apart from in tea?
Turmeric, I see people put in rice to give it a nice color. And even ginger is used in cooking. Ginger is good in cooking.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not a lot of it.
Yeah.
It's always good to know that these spicy things, they are medicinal. They have active ingredients. Don't use so much. Just sprinkle a little bit every time when you are cooking. You can put in tea because it's agreeable, actually.
Yeah.
I also did not find cinnamon. I wanted to come with cinnamon.
Okay.
It's good words in the hall to put such things. Cinnamon is also good to add in tea. It's also nice, but not for diabetic people. Okay. Because diabetic people need to be careful about even these home remedies, lest they shoot the sugar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We're just about out of time here. Maybe you can just give us some last words of advice in this cold season. A lot of people suffering and sneezing, and the kids have gotten them sick, and it's going around in the family and in the workplace. So maybe just final comments from you.
What I would like to say is that it seems always worse before it's over.
Yeah.
So for the first few days, you feel like it will never end, but trust me, it will end. But in the meantime, help yourself to go through that process with minimal discomfort. And finally, as I finish, I would like to say this is a friend to everyone. Water is very good for rehydrating. And even when you are coughing, when you have that bad cough, if you sip water, it helps to relieve the cough. So just do these small things and wait for it to go. Yeah. Because I will not give specific timeline, but we know flu and cold can last between 7 and 20 days.
So it's just a process
but
you have to
the
wait
first
out.
5 days are the worst, actually.
Yeah.
The rest is this blowing nose and productive cough, and then you'll be okay.
Yeah.
And then the body would have built resistance to that same virus that have affected you, so you are most likely to be free for the next season. But in the meantime, keep yourself healthy so that the body is ready to defend itself at all times.
Yeah, and in addition to these remedies, like you said, sleep, rest, staying
rest
warm,
well.
all of those.
If you have anyone you have disagreed with, this still an era of golden handshakes. You can go and shake and then forgive each other. Yeah. And then you'll find even people who are grudgeful, who don't sleep well, who are stressed, are more prone to sickness.
Yeah. Yeah.
So settle socially, don't only eat well. Even social issues are also very critical. Yeah. And it's going to be part and parcel of a healthful living.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, that's all the time we had. Eunice Kamau is a nutritionist who's been talking to us about natural remedies for the cold and flu season. Is there a way that people can get in touch with you?
Yes, we are in Westlands at Leo Makot number 45, down to Earth Wellness Center. That's where we apply integrative health, modern medicine together with nutritional health so that patients can have a first-hand ability to take care of themselves even when they are at home.
Okay.
Thank you very much for your time and for the viewers.
Yeah.
I wish that they don't get sick anyway.
I hope
but
so.
in
Try
case,
and stay healthy.
Then they have tips. We didn't have much time, but I hope whatever we have shared is applicable and it's helpful also. Yeah. And for those who are coming down with flu, I wish you quick recovery. Yeah, just wait it out. And finally, I have a greeting here for you. Someone says, morning, tell Eunice she's doing a good job. We worked together more than 10 years ago. That is Moria from Inspector Mwala. I don't know if you remember who that is. He said hi. Hi to him. I know him.
Okay, our breakfast does continue next. Willis Raburu and his panel are going to be coming up shortly to talk about phone etiquette in the household. So you don't want to miss that. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after this.